What's happening? I'm going to be talking to you all about what DAO is. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what this stands for and how the blockchain works and the whole decentralized organization. Let's jump into the in-depth bits of cryptocurrency. So I'm going to define what DAO is. A decentralized autonomous organization is an entity structured on the blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is a decentralized environment where money has no middleman involved into it. So if someone sends $1 amount to the other, then that's how the money's going to go ahead and get received. Okay, there's instead of like a wire transfer system where the money's going to go from a person. Okay, then the bank is going to have to be like, okay, do we approve this? Yes or no. Okay, and if it's too much money, it might seem like fraud or something like that. So it can definitely be no sometimes. Okay, and then it'll get a chance to get to the other person. But if it's a different country or something like that, sometimes that can be difficult. Okay, it's not always easy to send large amounts of money from one person to another using the bank account system. So we have the decentralized cryptocurrency system, which is going to help us get a space to where we can just send our bread freely and withdraw to our bank accounts, inshallah. Okay. And the DAO is where governance is handled through smart contracts rather than traditional hierarchical management. And unlike corporations, DAOs have no central authority. Decisions are made collectively by stakeholders, okay? And rules are encoded in immutable smart contracts, ensuring transparency and automation so that the cryptocurrency and the whole decentralized space can just go on an automated system without things having to be manually confirmed, or make sure transactions can go from one person to the other without having a middleman to deter whether or not something could be valid or not. Okay, this is not the bank system, so everything it works with smart contracts and on an automatic system to make sure we can get our funds at the right time. Okay, God is really good. We get to live in a really blessed time where we get to experience things like this and move our money freely how we want. Membership is often token based and it allows global participation without borders. Okay, so once again, that means that anyone from around the world can go ahead and come in and participate in this. Okay, it's not just locked down to one type of fiat currency. Okay, fiat currency is going to means like a country's currency. You have the ability to trade with anyone around the world. You could send $1 million to someone in China if you're in Africa. You could send $1 billion to someone in Afghanistan if you're in the US. Okay, you could do anything that you want. Okay, cryptocurrency makes a very flexible option for us to send our money and manage our money how we want, and even help out our family or peers around the world, or even hire people. Okay, God is the greatest. We live in a really flexible time. So understanding the key in and outs of this could also make us some money by investing in technologies. So let's talk about the history of DAOs, the origin and evolution. The concept of DAOs emerged with the rise of the blockchain, particularly Ethereum, which enabled programmable smart contracts. Okay, so Ethereum, it came out after Bitcoin. Okay, and it's Bitcoins are ran off of what's called POWs, and that means that it's converting power from computers. I'm sure you guys have seen Bitcoin miners. Okay, and those miners, of course, have to be plugged in, and so it's exchanging power. Okay, in order to get Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin's only limited though. It's only 21 million of it. Okay, and all of it is eventually going to be mined. But Ethereum is enabled by smart contracts, and DAO is going to be a part of that. So in 2014, the idea of Ethereum white paper, okay, and what the white paper is pretty much a cryptocurrency's form, explaining its future, what it does, its uses, etc., as well as its future planning. And the DAO launches on Ethereum and it raised 150 million, but suffers a major hack, okay, leading to Ethereum's hard fork. And then after 2016, Evolution improved security, okay, and by 2025, thousands of DAOs manage billions of dollars in assets, okay. So cryptocurrency over time, laws are getting passed, stuff is getting more regulated, okay, which means that governments have control over it, governments have jurisdiction over it pretty much, so it's going to be able to be traded for everybody as long as they get their piece of the pie. There's some stuff behind it. As you can see, that's why government bodies have been buying lots of cryptocurrency, stuff like that. So yeah, as long as governments can get their use of it, then yeah, we can too as retail traders, inshallah. Okay, so timeline examples from DAO's failure to successful modern DAOs like Aragon and DAO Stack, showing resilience and growth. So how DAOs work. Let's talk about smart contracts in depth. Smart contracts are self-executing programs on the blockchain that automate DAO operations, eliminating the need for intermediaries. Okay, no middlemen. Okay, one person to the other. That's how the bread is getting transferred. Nobody messing with your money. Nobody's trying to get in the way of blocking when you want to send bread over. Okay, sometimes the bank can be extremely frustrating. Sometimes there's bank maintenance. Plenty of times I've experienced 3 a.m. Okay, where there's been bank maintenance and can't get access to certain amounts of my dollar. Okay, my money. Cryptocurrency, it's never really failed me. It's why I always keep a crypto reserve. Okay, alhamdulillah, always keep cryptocurrency just in case my bank is ever down. Okay, I never want to be down and out. Keeping all my money in one place, distributing your funds is going to be an extremely smart way to make sure that you're always safe. And the cryptocurrency provides a safe environment in order for us to invest our money in. Okay, for sure. And especially over time, as laws gets passed and security increases, safer it's definitely going to get, inshallah. So written languages like Solidity, they handle voting, okay, fund distribution, and rule enforcement automatically. And once deployed, they're immutable, but upgradable via governance votes in some domains. And they ensure trustless execution. Code is law principle, okay? So let's talk about how the DAOs work. So tokens like MKR Uni, for example, okay, Uniswap, allow holders to propose and vote on changes. Voting power often proportional to holdings, okay? So whoever has the most value or percentage of it, okay, has the most power in this instance here. So, and it can be earned through contributions, okay, like liquidity provision, or purchased on exchanges with fiat currency like USD, for example. Delegation features allow token holders to lend voting power without transferring ownership. And in compounds, for example, DAO, the comp tokens enable voting on interest rate models. A whale, okay, which is an individual with tons of money, or an individual who just owns a lot of one currency or one something, just a lot of liquidity, okay, which means just money at the end of the day, okay, one person has on one trade. Okay, so somebody with a large amount of money in one position, aka a whale, with many tokens has more influence, okay? So whoever has the most money in something, whether it be a stock or cryptocurrency, pretty much controls a good portion of it. But delegation balances this. So people can't just be getting rug pulled on, and whoever just has most of the money can't just be taking advantage of people, okay? It's a fair, pretty much system that delegation creates so that people with tons of money, aka whales, can't just dominate everyone else, okay? Let's talk about how DAOs work and the voting mechanisms. Voting in DAOs ensure democratic decision-making with various systems to prevent centralization. Okay, centralization once again includes a middleman, includes power. Okay, and cryptocurrency is trying to stay away from that. Okay, we're trying to keep the power in the people, keep everything fair, keep everything decentralized. Quadratic voting. Votes cost quadratically more, favoring broad participation over wealth concentration. And votes gain weight over time, rewarding long-term commitment. And off-chain voting for efficiency with on-chain execution. For example, the Gitcoin DAO uses quadratic voting for funding public goods, ensuring smaller donors have a proportional impact. Okay. And key components of DAO. Smart contracts, okay, used by Ethereum. Smart contracts are a core logic for automation, okay, which means all the money can flow on an automatic system without having a person needing to control or confirm anything. And governments, okay, so everything is done via smart contracts. That's how everything stays decentralized, fair, but automatic, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of transactions going through the cryptocurrency market. So, and tokens for voting, incentives, and economic alignment. That's what tokens are going to be used for, okay? Voting, okay, whoever has most of the token has a lot of power, can go ahead and enforce certain voting decisions, and it shows who has a lot of the economic power, okay? So whoever owns the most Bitcoin, for example, okay, things are going to be controlled based off of that, especially since that's a limited resource. And community tools. So there's going to be a lot of community tools usable for certain tokens. People make Discords, Twitter pages, Snapshot for discussions, and off-chain coordinations. As far as treasury, multi-sig wallets or on-chain funds are managed by votes. And benefits of DAOs, some transparency and efficiency. DAOs offer advantages over traditional organizations by leveraging blockchain's property. It gives full transparency, and every transaction and decision is publicly verifiable on the blockchain, building trust, which means the average person, just me and you, we could see absolutely everything that everyone's doing. Nothing is hidden, okay? Everything is gonna be in your face. So efficiency. So automation reduces bureaucracy. Global 24/7 participation speeds up processes. Okay, so even if you're just a single person, you could see what government bodies are doing. You could see what hedge funds are doing. Okay, even if you're just a single person. Okay, even if you have some millions, you can see what the billionaires are doing. Nothing is hidden. Okay, and you can see what the positions are going to be based off of. Not saying that every position should be based off of what's happening there. Okay, but you can go ahead and use that into your technical analysis and see if everything makes sense. So inclusivity. Anyone with the internet can join. As long as you have the internet, you can log in, start trading some cryptocurrency, especially if you have a bank account and some money on it. Okay. Democratizing access to opportunities. For example, a DAO managing a venture fund can distribute investments faster than a traditional VC firm, with all the members auditing fund flows in real time. And DAO's innovation and resilience. Innovation. Okay, crypto's community is very serious. Okay, and the community-driven ideas foster creativity, as seen in the DeFi, okay, NFTs space. The community was an extremely big sector, and when something becomes popular, it really does benefit whatever it is, whether the DeFi, NFT, token space, meme coin space, anything. The more popular something is, the more it has a built-in community baked into it, the more value over time people will have, because there's going to be trust in it. The more they see people trust in it, the more other people will trust in it. And that's just how humans work. Okay. And then inshallah things grow over time. So that makes things evolve rapidly. And resilience. Decentralized structure assist censorship being blocked. Okay. Because it resists censorship and single point failures. And the alignment of incentives, token holders benefit from DAO success, encouraging positive contributions. And during the market crashes, DAOs like MakerDAO adjust parameters via votes to maintain stability, showcasing resilience and safety. And let's talk about some risk. Okay, not everything's all peaches and cream when it comes to DAO. Okay, DAOs have some smart contract vulnerabilities. Bugs can lead to exploits, and audits are essential but not foolproof. And 51% of attacks, if one entity controls a majority of the tokens, they can manipulate decisions, okay, which is taking the whole point of decentralized system away. Okay, so be careful. Certain things that you're investing to, you can actually see who owns a certain percentage of like a cryptocurrency coin, for example, or a token. Okay, and if it's one person who owns most of it, okay, that's not going to be a good sign. Okay, that means that they can control a lot of it, and as soon as it goes up, okay, as soon as you might think it's a good time to buy, remember they're in at the bottom. So as soon as they're going to be up some good profit, sell, and once they sell, since they control such a large portion of it, market will tank, making you sell for a loss, and it's trading for a reason. Okay, when you make money, someone's losing, and when you're losing, someone's making money. Okay, that's just how it is. And flash loan attacks. Borrowed funds are used to sway votes temporarily. And in 2016, the DAO hack exploited a re-entry vulnerability, draining the funds and highlighting the need for rigorous testing. Voter apathy. Low participation leads to unrepresentative decisions. Solutions include incentives like rewards. Okay. Regulatory uncertainty. DAOs may be treated as unregistered securities or partnerships in some jurisdictions, but inshallah, over time, I can see laws getting passed, governments being involved in it, okay, and it's getting more popular. And some plutocracy risk. So wealth concentration can remix centralized control. So once again, the whole point of cryptocurrency is for it to not involve a heavy control system, but if wealth concentration is going to be the plan, okay, then that can go ahead and destroy a lot. And Beamstock Farms DAO suffered a government attack in 2022 via flash loans, and they lost 182 M's, and underscoring voting security needs. So certain attacks and stuff like that still occur, causing people to lose money, certain manipulations and stuff like that. So be careful what you're investing in. And some DAOs and DeFi examples. DAOs are going to be widely used in the decentralized finance for protocol governance uses. Okay, governing lending platforms, like yield farming and stable coins. And the members vote on risk parameters, fees, and upgrades. Once again, it's more of a community thing. Community of investors have a lot of control and jurisdiction over what's going on. And treasuries fund development and marketing. The Uniswap DAO manages the leading DEX, voting grants on protocol fees, handling billions in TVL. So for use cases, DAOs and NFTs and creative. So just like we talked about NFTs before, let's talk about it again. DAOs empower collective ownership and funding in creative industries. Collective NFT purchases or art creation, okay? So I'm sure you guys have seen like NFT art and stuff like that, stuff for games too, little in-game skins too. It's also going to be something used for NFTs, and they fund music, film, or content creation, and shared royalties and decision making. Okay, for example, Pleasure DAO collects rare NFTs like the Wu-Tang Clan album, with members voting on acquisitions and exhibitions, so making real life art digital. Okay. So use cases, DAOs for social impact and charities. DAOs facilitate transparency, philanthropy, and community initiatives. Funding of public goods is what it's involved in, environmental causes, useful for, and social projects. Once again, very community-based. And it gives global coordination for aid without overhead, so everyone can come together, pool money, okay, and there's not going to be any type of centralized organization trying to control everything. And gives verifiable impact through on-chain tracking, so you can see all the transactions are real, they're happening, they're verified, and see if something is confirmed, which means that a transaction is pretty much sent over, okay, it hit the blockchain, and it's on its way to the next person, okay, from whoever sent it. If it's unconfirmed, then that means price is still waiting to go ahead and get pushed up. Okay, price is still in the quote unquote void. Okay, still progressing to the blockchain. It's taking its time. So, Ukraine DAO raised 6 million plus for Ukraine aid in 2022, demonstrating rapid, transparent fundraising. So cryptocurrency was used for a good use. Okay. It's not just all meme coins and jokes and people just trying to get rich to go drive lamps. Okay, it's real people being assisted within the world because of the fact that, cryptocurrency is going to be useful. And let's talk about how to create DAO. Okay, building a DAO involves technical and community steps. And DAO defines purpose, rules, and token economics. And develop audit smart contracts, okay, using Aragon or DAO host frameworks. And step 3, to launch tokens, build community, and initiate governance. Using DAO Stack's Alchemy platform, create a DAO in minutes with customizable templates for voting and proposals. And legal and regulatory aspects of DAOs. As of 2025, DAOs navigate evolving legal landscapes. In some jurisdictions like Wyoming recognize DAOs as LLCs for liability protection. Some challenges include taxation, security lies, and member liability. And the best practices they incorporate as a legal entity or use wrappers. The DAO structure as a venture DAO under Delaware law, providing legal clarity for investors as well too. And the future of DAOs. DAOs are poised to transform organizations across sectors, and integration for AI, which is going to be huge for the future, inshallah, and cross-chain DAOs for interoperability. Mainstream adoption of corporations and governments are also going to be something that's implemented within the DAO. And by 2030, DAO could manage trillions in assets, revolutionizing collaborations. So, in the comments, let me know what you learned about DAO. Brainstorm a DAO idea for a real world problem. What ethical issues arise from a token-based governance, and how do DAOs compare to traditional co-ops and corporations? Okay. DAOs, they use as leverage for the blockchain, okay, and they give transparent governance via smart contracts and tokens. Benefits, they're very efficient, okay, they include inclusivity, risk involves security, and centralization, okay. Due to the fact that money's involved, people can get power hungry, but as long as people stay prayed up to God, stay humble, okay, don't get ego driven, then things can go ahead and stay decentralized. Security is improving over time too, especially as crypto coders improve the security over time. And make God bless their hearts for just working so hard and for just letting us have the space to even trade. Applications span DeFi, creatives, and social impact with growing legal frameworks. Catch you guys in the next one. Stackmode Network for all trading education. I love you guys so much. Stay prayed up to God. Keep grinding. Peace.